Welcome, dear Scorpio. I'm your Western astrologer, Jennifer Jean, from astrojenniferjean.com, and this is your 2017 year ahead astrology forecast. So, this is for anyone who has their sun, their moon, or ascendant in Scorpio, and be sure to watch for your ascendant, definitely. Okay, so let's see what does 2017 hold for you. First, we're going to talk about the big benefic planet Jupiter, because we all want to know where Jupiter is transiting in our chart. So Jupiter is still in Libra for majority of this year until October. We already had that happen in 2016, and it continues from in 2017 until October. So it's still transiting your 12th house, Scorpio. Jupiter is the planet that wants to bring you luck and blessings and abundance and expansion and wisdom and knowledge. So it's it's a big benefic, and it's pretty important in our chart. So transiting your 12th house until October could be bringing you lots of intuition. I mean, you're already a Scorpio, so you already have a lot of intuition, but heightened intuition when it's in the 12th house. Definitely have lots of, spirit guide type of, angels watching over you and blessing you during the time of Jupiter in the 12th. Can also make you a bit more spiritually inclined as well. You may find yourself, reading or wanting to know more about, mystical, spiritual kind of pursuits when Jupiter is there. It's about knowledge and wisdom. Also, it's a time where you are working behind the scene and sort of like planning things in secret. Doesn't mean it's a secret or you're hiding a secret, but it is a time to definitely do a lot of introspecting and seeing what your next course of action is going to be once Jupiter enters your sign, Scorpio, in October. And I'll be here to talk about that closer to that time, how that's going to benefit you, Scorpio. So for now, having Jupiter in the 12th, your dreams might be quite vivid. You could definitely have a lot of epiphany moments, and sort of just doing more behind the scenes kind of work that take your planning, and that's what the 12th house is, more about the planning, and then once it enters your first house, then you can start to manifest what you've been planning. So it's very good to have Jupiter in the 12th. Then I'm going to talk about the Jupiter Uranus opposition. We've already had that in 2016, and that will continue in 2017. The dates of the opposition are March 2nd and September 28th. And an opposition is what astrologers consider a challenging aspect, because it is like a tug of war kind of energy. It's like a push and a pull. It's ultimately having you to make some kind of choice or decision. With Jupiter in the 12th and Uranus in Aries in your 6th, that could be health related. It could be work related too, as far as the work and the service that you provide. So just keep that in mind. That opposition is happening, and some choices need to be made. When Uranus is involved, Uranus is the planet of, sudden surprises and shock. It's there to kind of, wrestle you up a bit and get you out of your comfort zone. And but ultimately, it always wants you to be authentic, and it wants you to, not just conform. Wants you to, get out of that comfort zone that we so often just feel cozy and comfortable in. And Uranus is there to pull that rug out from under you, and sometimes you fall and you got to pick yourself back up. But it's ultimately leading you in, a more authentic direction. Okay, so enough of that. Next, I'm going to talk about Saturn. Where is Saturn transiting in your chart? So already, again, since 2016, Saturn's been in Sag, and it will be for the majority of 2017 up until December. So Saturn's transiting in the sign of Sagittarius in your second house. And Saturn is the planet of hard work. It wants you to be responsible and disciplined and mature in whatever area it's transiting. So in your second house, it's wanting you to be more responsible, mature, disciplined with your resources, with your income, your earned income, and your finances. So you might be finding that you're restructuring, the way that you save and spend. It's just asking you to be a lot more mature about those things. So if you've been very, loosey-goosey with your money, it's going to ask you to, just be really a lot more strict and disciplined in the area of your finances. Saturn is making a harmonious aspect to Uranus. It's what we call a trine aspect. That's a very harmonious. So when Saturn is making a harmonious aspect to Uranus, that's really good for stability, actually, because again, Uranus is that like mover and shaker and wants to, get you out of your comfort zone and shakes things up a bit. But with Saturn there, it's adding a lot more stability and groundedness to that energy. So that's very good. The dates those are happening, that trine is May 19th and November 11th. Okay? And that's happening from your second house to your sixth house. So something maybe really good with work, with with coworkers, or with your finances, your earned income. So that's good, bringing some stability there. And Uranus being there, it could, be something unexpected, but will end up benefiting you and adding more longevity to whatever it is that comes up for you then. Okay, again, until December, we have Saturn still transiting in Sag. December 19th is when it enters Capricorn, and then it will enter your third house. But I will be here to speak about that later on in the year, and I will tell you how that's going to, the transition, and how that's going to affect you towards the end of the year. Okay, next I'm going to speak about Venus retrograde. We're having a Venus retrograde this year in 2017. And Venus goes retrograde once about every 2.5 years, and this year we're having a Venus retrograde. Venus is the planet that governs over love, beauty, relationships, pleasure, anything that brings you, that's fun and pleasure seeking. That's Venus. So when Venus goes retrograde, it's asking you to do a lot more inward review in those areas. It's retrograding in the sign of Aries, which rules your sixth house. So again, your sixth house is again about your daily routines, your habits, your health, diet and exercise, co-workers, pets are even in the sixth house. So something like that, you may need to review Venus-related issues. That's happening March the 4th to April 15th. It's also going to be dipping back into the sign of Pisces, which rules your fifth house. So there may be also Venus retro issues to do with children. If you have any children or wanting children, creative projects, even any type of creativity or fun or pleasure is in the fifth house. So is dating and romance. Not necessarily like that marriage, but it's more of the fun and the dating, kind of beginning stages of relationship. So that's still so that's happening from March 4th to April 15th. When Venus goes retrograde, it's just want to warn you that it's not the best time to do any drastic makeovers with yourself, especially ones that are more permanent, like cosmetic surgery or tattoos. That could, even, hairstyles, doing something drastic with your hair or the color or a wardrobe or anything like that. Not the best time to do that because chances are once Venus goes direct again, you're likely to change your mind or it doesn't go quite the way that you had expected it to. So you definitely, when you're making, big changes like that, you definitely want a strong Venus moving direct, and making some good harmonious aspects. Not the best time to start a brand new relationship during a Venus retrograde. Sometimes once it goes direct, new information about that, that other person can come up. Doesn't necessarily always mean it has to be a bad thing. But just know that it's just a time for, review and, what's really important to you. Sometimes Venus retrograde can bring past love into your life. So an old flame or an old relationship may actually come back into your life during a Venus retrograde. And then you have the opportunity to either, work things out or, end some karmic relationship that, that hadn't properly been ended. That's also a good thing when Venus is retrograde. Okay, so that's enough about Venus retrograde. I'm going to go on to speaking about the eclipses that are happening this year. And eclipses are new moons and full moons, but they're amped up. They're like a new moon and a full moon on steroids. They have about 30% more more energy about them, and whether you want it or not, they will often eclipse things out of your life and bring things into your life, whether they're expected or not. Sometimes, if you're not being mindful and grateful and positive, it can come as a sudden shock. Eclipses almost kind of act a little bit like Uranus in a way where, suddenly something, happens, but it doesn't have to always be a bad thing. So first I'm going to speak about the lunar eclipse happening on February 11th. It's happening in the sign of Leo, and it's going to be in your 10th house. Lunar eclipse is about something coming to an end, a culmination of sorts, manifestation and fruition. 10th house is your career, your status, your reputation, authority figures and bosses. So something in those regards will be coming to fruition and culmination. Then we have a solar eclipse happening on February 26th, and it's happening in the sign of Pisces, and that's in your 5th house. So something, a new beginning. Solar eclipses are about new beginnings and, starting something new, a new chapter. Great time, 5th house, a great time to, start a new creative project. Great time, for fertility during that time, if that's, something that you're wanting maybe to, create a baby. Start a, if you're looking for love, this could be a great time to start a new relationship. If you're already in an established bond, it could be a good time to add more fun and excitement and pleasure into your partnership established bond. Okay, moving on to then the next lunar eclipse we have on August 7th, happening in the sign of Aquarius in your 4th house. Lunar eclipse, fruition, culmination, manifestation, something coming to an end with regards to 4th house, which is home, family, maybe property, can even be something, of an emotional nature too. So something coming to an end with regards to those manners. And then the last is the solar eclipse, the last solar eclipse happening on August the 21st. That's in the sign of Leo, again, ruling your 10th house. So something beginning, a new chapter, something, a seed being planted can grow into something with regards to career, status, reputation, authority figures, bosses. So see how that plays out with the solar eclipse. Okay, Scorpio, that's it for now. Thank you so very much for watching. Be sure to follow my monthly videos where I will be speaking more in depth about month-to-month, astrological aspects going on for you. And please don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment. I would really appreciate it. If you would like for me to have a look at your unique birth chart, please visit me at astrojenniferjean.com. And hope to hear from you soon. Until next time, thanks again. Stay positive.